Hi, I'm Melana of Melana On The Path, A Journey into the Light. Welcome to my podcast series, Walking Love in Fifth Dimension. We continue this series with part 5, entitled Loving the Body. In our second week of Walking Love in Fifth Dimension, a 12-week course exploring a deeper and more profound relationship with love, we take a very basic look at the different aspects of the self, the body, the mind, and the spirit. In the earlier Walking Love in Fifth Dimension podcast episodes, the focus has been on our overall relationship with ourselves and affirming and deepening our own self-love. In part 5, we take a closer look at our own parts and pieces, starting with the body. We pose the question, is it possible that we need to do some reclaiming of our bodies? From the power over stance held by the medical profession to our own lack of awareness as to our body's requirements for health, the need becomes clear for us to establish a new relationship with and take responsibility for this powerful aspect of our being. Listen, enjoy, and learn. I want to talk about the body. And the first question that comes to mind is, whose body is it? Is it possible that we need to do some reclaiming of our bodies? I don't feel that we entirely know that we have 100% ownership of our bodies. I don't feel that we know that. From the outset, there was a lot of claim laid to our bodies for a lot of different reasons, all of them having to do with injury. Because in truth, no claim should be laid to any being's body other than the claim that one lays to it oneself. So anything that happened outside of that was about injury. So it's about looking back and seeing, in the scope of looking back from then to present time, how much do you know or feel that your body belongs to you? The first order of business is to claim your body. Claim your total body, all of it. And that means that your well body and your what has been known as your ill body, your not well body, because the medical profession has had stake on that for all of your lives. So it's really important to look at claiming your whole body. And that's interesting if you just sit with that for a bit, claiming your whole body, because the minute you claim it, the minute you take responsibility for it, and in that moment, even in the moment that you consciously say, I claim my body, that's the moment that total responsibility for it kicks in. Because right now, that's not the case. You can't be responsible for something that you haven't claimed consciously. So, know that the minute you claim it, the minute you're responsible for it. So, it's very important to look at then, if this is 100% my body and 100% my responsibility, do I know what to do with it? Do I know how to take care of it? Do I know how to nurture it? Do I know how to love it? How do I begin knowing these things? How do you know how to take care of your body? Now, third dimension will tell you that it really is a matter of doing some very basic things. You feed yourself. You get sleep. You clean yourself. Get some exercise if you can. Go to the doctor. And that's how you handle your body. Well, nowhere in there does it talk about the fact that your body's alive. Your body's alive, and it has feelings. It knows its history very well. It knows its own functioning very well. What if how you take care of your body is by having a relationship with it, honoring it, being willing to listen to it so that it can tell you the truth about what it needs, how it functions, what it requires from you. Where is all that information? Where has it been up until now? So much of what is real about who we are, we have not tapped into, and thus we have not embraced. Your body belongs to you and it is your responsibility. Your body is capable of healing itself. In love, your body absolutely needs to heal itself. That's the only course that it knows that it can go forth on, is to heal itself. But what if in its healing itself, because we're not communicating with it, we don't understand what's going on? What if we misread or misjudge how we're functioning because we think that something else is happening because we're not communicating with our bodies? When you leave third dimension and move into fourth dimension, when you move from fear to love, all of your aspects undergo a shift and a change. They all undergo a shift and a change. All of the aspects have to move from fear to love. A lot of this goes on and people don't even realize it's happening. But it's nothing else that can happen but that. And I've heard a lot of people complain that after they've gone through the work, they've had trouble with their bodies, that their bodies have broken down. And the truth of the matter is what the body is doing is attempting to heal itself. It's making use of the fact that now it is in a different energetic reality. It is in love. So now it's going to set its course to do what it has to do to heal itself. One of the things to remember, and this is one of those points to keep in your mind and your heart, we're walking out of an illness. We're coming out of an illness in every way imaginable. And it's real important to remember that because it has a lot to do with how it feels and how it looks. We keep putting third dimension overlay on fifth dimension reality and it doesn't fit. We are coming out of an illness. Get an image of having been in a war zone. When you're coming out of a war zone, you are not dressed to the nines, no speck of anything on you, looking absolutely fantastic, brilliant, marvelous. Who do you know walked out of a war looking like that? Nobody. When we talk about coming out of an illness and we talk about learning something new, we talk about building, okay? Walking out of an illness implies the end of something and the beginning of something else, i.e., that's a new movement. Anything that happens on a shift, walking out of one place into another, building something new, learning something new, that happens in a shift, and something happens in that shift. And if where we're coming from is where we did not, and we wound up realizing we did not want to be, if where we've come from has damaged us, has weakened us, has made us have to strip down to the very basic reality of beingness, that in that shift as we move into where we're going, what do we expect that to look and feel like? And a lot of what we don't understand or we have difficulty in working with the work and ourselves is our conflict with what it's supposed to look like and feel like. It feels like exactly what it is. We're walking out of an illness. We don't know what abundance is yet, in truth. We haven't gotten there yet. We're walking out of an illness where in the illness, abundance was about having a lot of money. In the illness, health was about having no twitches and no pangs and no pains. The whole object of third dimension in the illness was to make all of that go away. What if the body needs for you to feel that? What if the body's trying to tell you something? So, okay, if we're going to walk out of the anesthetized, no pain reality of third dimension into coming into fifth dimension via fourth, it would make a lot of sense that if our bodies need to talk to us and they need to ping and pang and pain us, that they will start doing that. When they're not in, our bodies are not confined by third dimension reality, then our bodies start to wake up and they say, okay, here's the thing. Left elbow, right knee, lower back, stomach, all areas of activity, okay? We have to reconfigure what we know those signals to be. We can't say, oh God, so I've got to go to the chiropractor, I need to get a shot for this, and I need to get, we have to realize that this is a different ballgame now. This is a different program. Our bodies are talking. They're talking. Our bodies have been silenced for years. They've been trying to say what's up with them, and they've been silenced. And so when you go through the work, they start to talk, and people go, it's that work, it makes you sick. Well, no, that's not exactly the truth of it. The truth of it is the work is attempting to make you well. But because you think when your body wakes up, you're sick, then that's how you relate to it. So here we are. Part of how our bodies communicate is they ping and pang and pain us. Okay? And it's very interesting once you know that, and you can be with that, and you can breathe through that, it's different than the pain and the ping and the pang of third dimension. That shit hurts. And there's no way, it's like breathing through that from that perspective. That's why I sometimes believe that Lamaze is a real hard one in third dimension. Because in third dimension, pain has a connotation, a certain connotation. It hurts. Pain doesn't necessarily hurt in that way once you understand what it is. Not saying you don't feel it, but it's how you hold what you feel that makes the difference about how it moves through you. Pain in third dimension and pain in fourth and fifth dimension are different, as is everything. It would have to be. Logic tells you everything changes. And so we have our bodies, and we have our bodies communicating with us. That's one way that they communicate with us. Another way that they communicate with us is how we sense what it is. Have a sense of what it is let me go back. How we have a sense of, what do I mean by that? Your bodies have their own relationship to food, to water, to rest, to everything. Your body has its own relationship to these things, and it has its own way that it wants to be about those things. See, one of the things that you're going to learn is what to do with your free will. Free will certainly allows for us to do what we want to do. But what we don't take into consideration or haven't is we have to do what we want to do in relationship to something, to ourselves, to life, to other people, to a planet. There is some relationship reality. We are not here alone, which means our free will means that we can do anything we want to do. We have never been that free, if that's what freedom is called, being out of relationship. If that's what is freedom, we don't have it, because we are in relationship all the time. That is something because of our very selves that we cannot avoid. So you don't have to look beyond yourself to say, as long as I have me, I am not going to be free of that. So if I have a free will, I'm going to have to work my will in relationship to myself. Part of respecting your aspects is not asserting your will to say what they desire because that's what you consciously think should happen or want. Your body has its own agenda about what keeps it healthy. Your body teaches you about what it needs, not the other way around. How we've been taught is that, like from the medical profession, they get to teach us about what our bodies need. I don't remember any of those people ever asking a body. I never read anything like that. I wonder where they got their information. All of what they do is about having power over a body. That's interesting. Having power over a body. That's how it happens. Like your bodies have to be contained and kept from what? Kept from what? Supposedly kept from being sick so you won't die. But that's not true. We have been systematically kept from being is what really is the truth. It's just interesting to me, this living in prison, having your bodies in prison, and learning how to keep your bodies in prison. And it's time to let these bodies free. It's time to allow our bodies freedom of expression, freedom to self-maintain, freedom to grow in love, freedom to express the truth about themselves. It's no longer optional to say, I don't love my body, I don't like the way it looks, I have a problem with my body, etc., etc. I'm really asking everybody to really look at and to understand that we're not on that page anymore. That we're not on that page anymore. It isn't about that anymore. Your body is a part of you. You do not get to not own that because you have a problem with whatever the illness and how the illness impacted you, how it impacted your body. You do not get to blame your body for that. So you get to embrace your body. You get to embrace it, and you get to talk to it and ask it what it needs and how can you help and how can you show up being a supporter for the vehicle that makes it possible for you to be here. Your body houses your spirit and your mind. It does a big, big job, and it really could use your support, So it's good to start to consider that this is really important. It's really important. And there's no way to get around it, that this is what we are going to have to show up and do.